Hello, welcome. We're having a watch party here at Brett's apartment. Hope you can all see and hear us at this time. Brett, wait, all of his friends are waving. They're going to be watching along with you today. So hope you enjoy our session today. Thanks for being here. You guys want to have a seat and watch the show? So this is Brett Everman. He's going to be your presenter today. And he'll pretty much introduce himself when he gets started here, but we just want you to know that we're happy you're here and hope you enjoy what he has to say. So I'm going to do a share screen now so you can see his PowerPoint. You ready, Brett?
And I do see that.
There we go. Okay. So this is Brett's session. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Brett Everman, age 25 from Plover, Wisconsin. Thank you for joining my conference session. It makes me happy that you are interested in my story. This session is called, Is Your Vision Blurry? See My Reality? My mom came up with that title, not me. It is all about my transition to being an adult with disabilities. I am not an expert. These are my personal experiences. Hopefully this information will be interesting to you. By sharing, we can learn from each other and hopefully get some ideas from each other. You may have noticed that I talk with a voice output computer. I was born healthy and suffered a traumatic brain injury in a motor vehicle crash before my second birthday. It is a miracle I survived. I have to learn to do things in a different way. I utilize a super cool Invacare powered wheelchair. You may have noticed that I talk with a voice output computer called a Dynavox. I am unable to communicate with vocal words, so I use a Dynavox voice output communication device. It is basically a Windows 10 computer with Communicator 5 software for the speech function. Please be patient as I find my messages. My apartment has an attached single-stall garage. I stayed in public school until age 21 and graduated from Stevens Point Bay Area Senior High. After grade 12, the focus was on life skills training and job education training in the Spanish Life Skills Center. After school, I had 3 goals. 1, get a job. 2, move out of my parents' house. And 3, find a girlfriend. I am very proud to say that I have accomplished all 3 of these goals. I work for the University of Stevens Point, moved into an apartment. I have a girlfriend named Annie Barnes. Having a job has always been important to me for many reasons. Reason 1, because I like to have money. Don't you? Reason 2, I am very social and like to be around people. Reason 3, it gets me out of the house. And finally, because it gives me a sense of accomplishment and self-worth. I feel very proud of myself. I registered on the state of Wisconsin Workforce Development website, and a counselor was assigned to me. They contracted with our local ODC Opportunity Development Center, and ODC assigned a job coach to me. I did a few work trials, but they were not good fit. I didn't want someone doing the work for me, and I wanted to be socially engaged. I purposely kept the furniture small so there was plenty of room for We came up with the idea of me being a tour guide at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point Museum of Natural History. A page was created on my communication device for each window display or diorama. During a tour, I tell the story of what animal and biome the guests are looking at. Last week, I helped create a virtual tour for people to watch online. I have been employed at the museum since June 2015. My boss says I am her most reliable employee, and people request me for their tour. How cool is that? My apartment has an attached single-stall garage. 4 years ago, I accomplished a major goal of mine by moving out of my parents' house into an apartment in Plover, Wisconsin. It was a major feat finding a wheelchair-accessible apartment that would work for me. During the process of searching, we found out that some rental companies designate specific apartment units for low-income occupants. They receive a tax break in return. I applied and qualified because I am not a student and my low income. It made the apartment affordable for me. Never in my wildest dreams did I see myself living alone in an apartment with 24-hour care. I am proud to be so independent. My apartment is a one-story townhouse with no stairs. It is accessible to my powered wheelchair. My apartment has an attached single-stall garage for my wheelchair-accessible van. My parents are good to me, and they provided a vehicle for my transportation needs. I realize how lucky that makes me, as many people struggle with having affordable and available transportation. Of course, I don't drive, but my care providers are given permission to drive it and are trained to operate my wheelchair-accessible conversion van with side entry access. Luckily, the bathroom is large and has room for a washer and drop. Property management gave us permission to make some modification to the apartment. The wall-to-wall carpeting was removed and vinyl plank flooring was glued to the concrete floor. There are no door thresholds from one room to another. My wheelchair can roll over door thresholds, but my standing frame for weight-bearing and shower chair have casters. A door threshold can be a dangerous hurdle for wobbly casters. Can any of you relate? Luckily, the bathroom is large and has room for a washer and dryer for my laundry. The bathtub was removed and an accessible shower was added that allows my shower chair to roll in. We had to find a way to safely transfer me from my wheelchair to bed. It was not possible to reinforce the ceiling for a track lift in the ceiling like I had at my parents' house. Instead, a freestanding lift was purchased and, unlike a Hoyer, can be used by one care provider rather than needing two care providers. Have you seen this type of lift before? It is made by Prism Medical. We were very skeptical at first, but it has worked very well for me. I feel safe and secure during transfers. That is me just hanging out. I purposely kept furniture small so there is plenty of room for my wheelchair. My apartment is decorated with all my favorite things. Can you tell from the decorations that I am a NASCAR fan? My favorite driver was Dale Earnhardt Jr. until he retired in 2017. Alex Bowman now drives the 88 car, and I follow him. Do you have a favorite NASCAR driver? Property management, by law, had to allow me to make accommodations for my special needs. Typically, the renter is required to return the property to the original state upon moving out. However, my property manager considers the changes upgrades, and I will not have me convert it back to the original state if I ever choose to move out of the unit. I am never alone at my apartment, as I have 24-hour care. There is always a care provider at my apartment, even when I sleep. When I first moved into the apartment in Clusa, my long-term care support team contracted with companies that provide care. The companies had a huge staff turnover, and my health suffered. Last year, the decision was made to become self-directed, and things have been going much better. I am the boss and make decisions about what I want to do and who works at my apartment. It can be a challenge to find good staff. Inclusa no longer has to pay a company with many layers of management. That allows us to pay staff at a slightly higher rate. The higher hourly rate draws a better quality employee. Plus, my mom is my co-guardian, house manager. She trains staff for my care. She works the morning shift, 7 to 3. Mom makes sure there is healthy food in my kitchen, does my morning cares, skin evaluation, and exercise. She also takes me to all my doctor appointments and meetings. At shift change, a different care provider comes in, and then the fun happens. I will talk about that later. I met my girlfriend, Annie, at high school. She is a couple. When I first moved out, I was worried that no one would visit me, and I would be lonely. A care provider was always with me, but it is not the same as friends. Shockingly, 85% of disabled adults between the age of 18 and 34 feel lonely. I am sure that number has escalated even more during the COVID pandemic. Many people with special needs have less than 30 minutes of interaction with someone on a typical day. People with disabilities like me have challenges with our everyday activities, like accessibility for our wheelchairs, our ability to communicate, transportation options to get places. Some of us struggle with social skills, and most of us have health and medical challenges. Loneliness affects everyone, but is more prevalent among disabled individuals. Some of us feel unable to get out of the house, especially now with the COVID pandemic. We aren't socializing and doing things we love to do. This can lead to a feeling of isolation and depression. Good news. There are ways to overcome loneliness. One thing I use on a regular basis is technology. Obviously, we are all using technology today to be part of this amazing conference. Zoom is a great tool to see the person you are communicating with and allows you to connect with more than one person at the same time. At the Y, Tuesday and Thursday night is the special fitment. I use Zoom multiple times each week for tele-speech therapy with my university speech clinician. It works great. I have actually been making great gains because I am in my home environment and not in a sterile therapy room. We even meet in the kitchen to cook or bake something together. Last week we baked chocolate chip cookies. They didn't last long. I use Google Duo app, also called Google Hangouts, to communicate with my sister, Kaylee, in Albany, New York. Gosh, I miss that girl. It makes me happy to see her face and reaction as we talk. I show my sister crafts that I am making. We can share photos or show each other new clothes. She gave me a tour of her new house, and I showed her the flowers I planted over the summer. Easter Sunday, she helped me do the candy hunt around the room, and we got a group photo by taking a screenshot. So much fun. Other apps that you may be familiar with are Skype and Facebook Messenger. Have you heard of or tried Marco Polo, Who's Party, or the Discord app for gaming or video chatting? Video chatting apps are very helpful in preventing the feeling of social isolation. You can see the person you are talking to and not feel so alone. Question: what is your favorite app to video chat?
Go ahead and type that in the chat box if you want to let us know what you like.
There are so many social media opportunities: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Tumblr, Flickr, Pinterest, Instagram, and on and on. They each have pros and cons. The thing they have in common is the ability to connect with other people and entertain us. Which social media app is your favorite?
You can go ahead and add that in the chat box if you want.
I met my girlfriend, Annie, at high school. She is a couple years younger than me. When I moved into my apartment, Annie would visit with a few other people. They wanted to see what it was like to live in an apartment. We would watch movies and hang out. Eventually, we discovered that we wanted to spend more and more time together. I asked her to be my girlfriend. She said yes. October 20th, we celebrated 3 years of dating. I feel very lucky to have an amazing, sweet girlfriend like Annie.
Looks like Jason and Shannon like Facebook, and Rita likes to snap. Thanks for sharing.
So why is friendship so important to me? When I moved into my apartment, it sometimes felt empty and hollow. Having disabilities causes me to be dependent on others for so many things. It is important that people visit my apartment because they want to be with me and not because they are being paid to be here. Friends are individuals that do the same things as me, and we have many of the same interests. I find the more places I go and things I do, the more people I meet and connect with. Being a member of the Stevens Point YMCA has provided many opportunities. The Adaptive Fight Ed program brings together many people. I have made many friends bowling. No bowling this year due to COVID, but usually we practice 2 days a week and attend tournaments on weekends. In the spring, I enjoy track and bocce ball in the summer. At the Y, Tuesday and Thursday night is the special fitness and social group. Frequently, we play games and hang out for a few laughs. Some of our favorite games are right, left, center, and Uno. We also meet at locations like Clay Corners to paint pottery or at a restaurant to have a meal together. When my care provider and I want to invite people over, we use Facebook Messenger. That way we can send one invitation to multiple people. Some of my friends and I like going to monster truck shows. The monster truck show at Wausau wasn't canceled due to COVID because it was held outside. It was something fun to do. Many of my friends like to meet me at Golden Sands Racetrack on Friday nights for stock car racing. We all sit in the wheelchair section so we can be together. My friends and I like to wear our Packer clothes and cheer for the Packers. We can't go too crazy because my neighbors might get mad. I have a reputation for throwing awesome Super Bowl parties. Hope things change with COVID-19 restrictions so I can invite a bunch of friends over. Who thinks the Packers are going to the Super Bowl this year?
Anybody?
I love to dance, and I never miss a holiday party that includes dancing. That is me leading the conga line. We get crazy on the dance floor. It is fun to get dressed up for the Tim Tebow Night to Shine dance. All participants are treated like kings and queens. It will be done virtually this year. It is always fun to see a movie in the theater, but lately we have been watching movies at my place. Here we are with 3D glasses. So if you are feeling lonely, my advice is don't wait to be asked. Many people have poor social skills and won't ask you. You may need to take the lead and do the asking. Keep in mind, some people do well in large groups, but some of your friends may get anxious. Plan to do one-on-one with them. Ask them what works best. Keep in mind your friends may have transportation issues. Some of my friends don't drive and carpool with someone else. Others use a taxi or have a family member drop them off. Sometimes accessibility can be an issue for me. For instance, I am unable to go ice skating or sledding, but I can watch hockey or do other things. It makes me feel good when my friends talk to me instead of my care provider. It can be annoying when people raise their voice around me. I can hear it just fine. My life as an adult is going very well. I am happy to be independent and living my best life. My social life is very full and rewarding. My family is always there if I need them. Thank you again for choosing my session. I hope you enjoyed hearing my story. Do you have anything you want to ask me?
So yeah, let's see. If you guys want to type in questions, I'll read them to Brett so we can answer them for you. Let's see. A couple people look like they think the Packers are going to make it to the Super Bowl. Shannon and Jason and Shannon and Stacy, go Packers. Anybody want to ask Brett anything? Shannon says that was wonderful. Do you have any new goals since you've completed your first 3? Do you have any new goals, Brett? No new goals? No. We're working on speech goals. Brett does speech therapy, and he's really good at initiating conversations, but he's been practicing really hard on following up with questions if somebody's talking, or commenting. So if somebody tells him something, he's practicing responding, like saying, "That's cool," or "How nice," or things like that. So he's got goals like that. Maureen, thank you. She said, "Brett, you did a nice job. Excellent presentation." You mentioned that you are in self-directed option. Is this through family care or Iris? So Brett's self-directed. We're through family care, but we're doing self-direction. I think that's
I can
Iris
open
then?
and close the drawer for the alcohol wipes.
Okay, we'll take care of that. Let's see. You're an inspiration. Great presentation. Thank you. I don't know how to say that. Elvitate. Christy says, "Great job." Great. Anybody else have any questions? She works, Jason works in SDS team with Inclusa, and you are a familiar name, and I'm so glad that you are doing so well. Thanks, Jason. Brett is having a good life here, and I think we made the right decision going self-directed. We feel like things are so much more in our control, and we just feel like his health is doing so much better. So how do I recruit friendly, reliable, professional staff? What are your lead sources? Yeah, that's a good question. I was really lucky that when we switched to self-directed, all the staff that was previously here stayed, except one, because when I came in full-time, she had to go part-time, so we lost her, but the rest stayed. A few have gone to other jobs since then, or things have changed in their life, so they're not here. I've done a variety of things. I've reached out on Facebook. I've had other people put it out on their Facebook page just to get people to respond. A lot of it's word of mouth. I've never done any paid advertising yet. Haven't had to go that route, but we are a little short-staffed. I could use one more part-time person. So if you know of anybody, send them my way. But yeah, what's that?
The university.
The university's been a great resource. Brett and I have done a lot of public speaking there, and I put the word out whenever I'm speaking there. And we get some really good college students that want to learn and get into this lifestyle. Let's see. Jason, thanks for, he says it's a wonderful program. Yep, Brett's a great guy, big personality, and he's so lucky to have some great friends. He's really been great. Stacy says this was a great presentation, Brett. I think that you will help many people realize that they can set goals and reach them. Yes, they can. Dream big, people. Don't go for the stars. Do you ever have any recommendations for those that are looking to move out on their own and how to make that first step? Yeah, that was, I think the scariest decision for me as a mom was moving my son out of the house into his own apartment. I had many sleepless nights. You just have to commit to doing it and just keep pushing to make things the best it can be. If it's not working, you have to try something else and know that life can change and just be flexible and go with it. Everything's not going to be perfect, but you have to make it work. So I hope that helps people. What has been the hardest thing to overcome? Yeah, the hard thing was feeling so helpless when Brett would be here with care providers and I wasn't here because I was working somewhere else, so I couldn't be here on a day-to-day basis. So I feel a lot more in control now that I work here part-time. That's not going to be the solution for everybody that's self-directed, but it surely has helped for me. Brett, did you interview your own staff? Do you help interview people?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, of course he does. He's here. He gets to get, I totally check to see what the vibe is between him and the person I'm interviewing. Are they just talking to me? Are they talking to Brett? Is Brett talking back to them? That gives me a good gauge as to whether that would be a good fit for our household. How long did it take you to find the right job for you to make you happy? For Brett,
how long did it take you to find the right job?
It took quite a while. I'm not going to lie. We've had a huge turnover for job coaches and things like that, and it seemed like we had to start over every time. It was very frustrating, so we had to be very patient and keep telling them this is what we want. We tried some different job trials where Brett did some cleaning and stuff. He doesn't mind cleaning, but it's just really, he wanted to be social, and we just knew that for the long term, and again, he wouldn't be able to do the work himself. It was somebody helping him. So when we found that position as a tour guide at the museum, it was such an incredible fit because he does it all by himself. He's a little tired today, so I had to assist him on reaching some of his buttons, but typically he is very self-sufficient when it comes to communicating with his Dynavox, and he just does it all by himself, and he's so proud of himself when he's done. Brett, let's see how long it takes you to find. Any others? Did I answer your questions? If I don't, ask me again and I'll try to.
Did you interview your own staff?
Yep, we answered that one. Shannon says you should be proud. Do you feel proud, Brett?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think you did a good job?
Yeah.
Would you do this again?
Yeah.
All
Good job
right.
too, Mom. How about that?
What's that?
He says, good job too, Mom.
Good. Oh, thank you. I know Brett, I'm Brett's shadow. We're always together. So let's see. Lawrence says, what
FC.
FC do you use? What's FC? You guys know?
The family care.
Oh, family care. We're in, Brett's in Plover, so the office is in Stevens Point. Inclusa is who we use. Does that answer your question? Sherry says, thank you, Brett. And it's 3:30, and I think you guys have a dance party to go to, so I don't want to hold you up from that fun. But if you have any other questions, you feel free to contact us directly, and I'd be happy to help. Let's see one more. That will be a great maybe. Let's do. See, oh, it's moving too fast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thanks you guys. Thanks for being here. Happy you could join us.
Nice.